Emily, how are you doing today? So today is the 1st of September, 2018, and it's a Saturday, and it's the first day of a 3-day weekend. This is the Labor Day holiday weekend. And today I cleaned the house a little bit and I went to the gym, and I'm really proud of having gone to the gym. And I practiced doing some weightlifting, some squats. I also did some running and bicycling on the stationary bike. It was good. And then after that, I came home and I did some sewing on my sewing machine, and I constructed a gift. Yep, I constructed a new gift for you, which you'll probably see in the coming days. And by the way, it's beautiful. And I had a really good time putting it together. I learned a lot, and I'm really just blown away at how easy it is to create things using a sewing machine. It's so simple. All you have to do really is buy the materials from the fabric store and then bring them home and then let your imagination run wild and put it together. Sew it, cut the pieces apart and sew it and do some measurements, and boom, it exists. It's real. It's a real thing. It's really unique for me to have a project and at the end of the project end up with a finished product that is something tangible. As an engineer, I work with ideas. I work with concepts. A lot of it is engineering design. I'm thinking about equipment and parts and pieces and standards and things like that. And when I'm done, say I finished writing an email or finished reviewing a report and writing comments to it, I send it off as an attachment, say, to an email, and it's done, and I've got no final product. There is no thing, I'm communicating. Essentially, my work is about communicating ideas, and it's about creativity and solving problems. But it's not about making something. This is a very unique property, I think, of accomplishment. There's coming up with creative ideas, and then there's constructing creative things. And I'm really enjoying the act of constructing creative things and how it resolves itself in an actual thing that I can do something with. It's really wonderful. It's very empowering. I almost think, why go to the grocery store and buy food when I can prepare it myself? Or why buy clothing when I can make my own clothes? Why buy pillowcases or sheets when I can construct my own pillowcases and sheets? Yeah, there's a time and money element, a skill element. But constructing something for my own use is so satisfying. I'm just blown away at how satisfying it is. I feel competent to cope with life. I feel proud of my skills and what I've created. And I'm so grateful to be able to share what I've constructed as a gift and give it something unique. Give something very unique to another person. A lot of the time, the gifts that I give to other people, say that I buy at stores, are gifts that have been given to a million other people, constructed. And these objects have been constructed by machines, say in China somewhere, and a million of them had been made before they were sent to my store and when I bought them. So I'm basically buying a an object that is one of a million of exactly the same objects. And now when I create my own stuff, it's like so brand new. I mean, I might not have ever seen anything quite like it before in terms of design and pattern mixing and matching. So it really is a phenomenal feeling to construct something like a piece of clothing or a blanket or a towel or, scrunchies that one can put in their hair. So I'm just really excited about this whole idea of making things. Yeah. Um, so I just glanced on over to my my board here. I've prepared a little bit about what I'd like to say and what I'd like to talk about. It looks like one of the questions I have for you is this: what matters to you? What matters to you? I'm really interested in that question. What matters to you in your life? What do you find yourself thinking a lot about? I would be interested to know this. And I wrote down a few things that I think are important. I wrote down 5 things that I think are important. Things that I spend a lot of time thinking about during my day. And these are the things that matter to me. All right, here's the thing. Number 1, and this is in no particular order. It just happened to be the order that I wrote everything down on this list. So number 1 is work, naturally. So yeah, I spend a lot of time thinking about work. Why? Because I'm at work for 8 or 9 hours a day, pretty much every weekday. And so yeah, I spend a lot of time thinking about that subject. That is the space industry and engineering. And it matters to me. It matters to me because, well, that's what I do. That's what I'm calling my profession. As a professional, it means that I'm committed to a certain body of work, body of knowledge. And, that's part of my professionalism, is sort of staying true to that commitment to that body of knowledge. So, yeah, work. Also, school. School is important to me. I spend a lot of time thinking about school. Now, right now, I'm taking 3 classes at Allen Hancock College. Yeah, I'm taking a machining class, and I'm taking a jewelry making class, and there's a short class coming up. It's going to be a makeup class, and it'll be using Day of the Dead type styles and marking up face in a costume, sort of like a costume theme. The Day of the Dead theme. So I'm excited about that. That class is only 1 day, and or maybe it's 2 days, and I think it'll be happening sometime in October. So it's early September now, so that class probably won't happen for another month and a half. But I've got the other classes going on. In fact, today I was contemplating how in the world I'm going to study 2 chapters that are due next Wednesday, and get the homework done on time. What with all the stuff I've got scheduled for this weekend and early this week, so I'm sort of planning out the next few days so that I can get all this work done. When I'm in school, those classes, those 3 classes, at least 2 of those classes that are ongoing right now, they take a lot of my time in terms of my evening time. They are night classes because, well, I work during the day. And so I spend a lot of time at night at my classes. So that's what's important to me. Education is important to me. Learning is important to me. Growing, sort of unfolding and learning new skills, that's very important to me. I really want to continue to learn. In fact, I've actually been contemplating an idea related to learning, and that is that I think, and this is just my opinion, that people in general, in the United States and in the world, are undereducated. I know, what a bizarre thought. Why would I think something like that? Well, and I'm including even people with bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, even PhDs and professional degrees. And here's why I think that. Um, you know, there is something to be said about getting enough training to do a job, to work, to be employed. I mean, that is important. And I think there is something to be said about education that is recreational education, where you're expanding your areas of knowledge, well, in areas that are unfamiliar to you. You know, I think that's almost as important as having education. Well, maybe it's not as important as having education for work and employment, but I think it's really important to do a lot of cross fertilizing into different fields so that you can get sort of an understanding of a whole range of subject areas. That is what I strive to do. Try to sort of reach out into other subject areas and gain some knowledge and gain a few skills. I think that is so satisfying to me. You know, because I spend a lot of my time doing engineering work, and that's wonderful. I enjoy engineering work. But in my spare time, I'm also taking these classes and I'm studying about psychology, which is personally a passion of mine. So I'm exploring my passions related to these intellectual pursuits, and I'm exploring areas that I've uh, um, never been trained in before. And just that alone is so stimulating to my mind. So there's so much imagination and benefit from just stretching in these areas. It's really phenomenal. It helps improve my confidence, my sense of efficacy, and it helps me be more creative in my work that I do every day, and even in my passionate pursuit of psychology. So I'm really struck about how necessary it is, or at least for me, how necessary it is for me to continue my education. Even though I have plenty of education, I might even, I've actually got quite a lot compared to many others. I'm still in school. I've been going to school in college. I'm 47 years old. I continue to go to school, and I have, and I, and I, and I will, and I plan to go to school every single year until the day I die. I get that much enjoyment out of it. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. What matters to me? That's the list we're talking about. So work, school, what else matters to me? Working out, exercising my body. That is really important to me, and it's gotten into to be a habit right now. I love working out. I love going to the gym. Nowadays, I'm pretty much going every other day. So that means I'm working out 3 and 4 days a week. Usually around maybe 2 or 3 days a week. Sometimes I'll take an extra day off if I'm not feeling up to par. But generally, every other day I'm running and swimming and biking and weightlifting, doing all these activities, physical activities, pushing my physical self to, maybe not to my limit, but to near failure. And I'm learning new exercises, learning how to use my body in new ways. I also dance. I ought to call that exercise because it is. It's a very physical endeavor. And it helps me with coordination and flexibility, and it also helps me with my appreciation for music too, which is also something that I value and that matters to me, music. That's more of a recreational thing, but so going to the gym, that is important to me, and it is critically important. And what's great about that is that my personality is really growing as it relates to exercise. There's something about exercise which for a personality like me, from like mine, is very appealing. The regularity, the consistency of exercise, and how it needs to be done just so. I've got my little notebook where I write in all my activities, the durations and the weights and the reps and the sets, and I love that. I love the accounting part. I love the consistency part. I love the just the self-esteem and self-efficacy part of just always making gains, or making gains on some exercises and then others, and then making tweaks here and there. I mean, it's an entire pursuit. It's an intellectual pursuit on its own. And so that's fantastic. So yeah, exercise is really important to me. Let's see what else is important. Personal growth. I have that on the list. Super important to me. Recently, I have been just focused on transforming myself. Just I am in a period right now of transformation when it comes to my personality and the activities I do. I am doing things that I've never done before. My life is changing in ways that it has never changed before. And I am more optimistic, excited, and energetic about the future than I have ever been. I know. I know. I am truly undergoing a transformation right now. In fact, this transformation has been going on for about 2 years now. And so I'm really pleased about that. And I further expect this transformation to continue. What has enabled this transformation? It's been a lot of things. My work's been nice and steady. That serves as a foundation for transformation, right? And I've also had a little extra money to play around with. Again, something else that's helped me and in my transformations. Also, exercise. I've become more physically fit, more powerful physically, and that has enabled transformations. In addition, I've been single for quite a while, and I've become accustomed to it, really. And that extra time and energy and freedom that I can devote to my own self-development, that has enabled transformation too. So it's pretty amazing. Not only am I transforming, but I am transcending. I know. And I've been doing that for 2 years now. And wow, the ride has been phenomenal. And every day keeps getting better and better. And I'm feeling so grateful for these opportunities, for enhanced and continued enjoyment of my life in so many different ways. And wow, I'm just so pleased. As you can tell, I'm gushing over it. So yeah, personal growth, very important to me. I've always done a lot of reading related to personal growth, self-help, nonfiction, any kind of nonfiction and science-related book. I'd be happy to read and grow from. Okay, so that's the fourth item that matters to me. Now, what is the fifth of 5? Relationships. Relationships matter to me. There's something about relationships, like sort of the state of relationships in my external world. If my relationships are going well, then I feel good. My needs are being met. And if my relationships are not doing well, I struggle. And, it's interesting how that works. It's interesting how powerful a lever relationships are in terms of sort of affecting my mood. I mean, it's not so much affecting my mood as it is sort of like affecting my quality of life. Yeah. And yeah, isn't that interesting how that is? everything could be going very well in my life, and if my relationships are out of whack somehow, that spells trouble. Because what happens is, I spend more time than I ought to considering solutions to problems. Anyway, so my relationships are important to me. Thankfully, a lot of my relationships are doing great right now. They're just fabulous. I've got a wonderful circle of friends, and not just a circle. I've got multiple circles going on at the same time. I basically have tribe, a tribe, and I'm so grateful to have that. I went through a period of my life, say through my 20s, 30s, basically through my 20s and 30s, and just a few years of my 40s without any kind of tribe that I could rely on or reach out to. And I've got that now. I know, it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm just so pleased by it. I feel so fortunate to be in the position that I am as it relates to my circle of friends. I just can't express how much love and gratitude I have for them. Ah, so good. And there's a sub-bullet under relationships, and that is you. You matter to me. Our relationship, that is you, Emily, matter to me. And not a day goes by or even an hour goes by without me at once or twice contemplating the status of what's going on between us. And, I am optimistic about the future. And thankfully, I'm also quite patient. So I am also becoming more and more accepting of our current situation. And so I'm excited to report that I think things are going well, and I think things will continue to go well. And so I'm sort of pleased with how things are trending right now. I think there's a lot of possibilities in the future. So I look forward to talking to you more about those. All right, let's see. What else is going on? Okay, so I have been buying some new video equipment. I'm going to start upgrading my communication equipment because I've got some great ideas about what to do in the future. I come from a family of photographers. I've got photography runs in our blood. I've got relatives, like cousins, who are professional photographers. And my own parents are interested in photography. Everyone's snapping pictures in my family. I've got a brother who has a master's degree in fine arts, and he's continuously putting on these art shows and other artistic events, and just so much creativity in my family. And I'm so pleased that at least that part of our mental worlds are shared. That is that spark of creativity, that interest, particularly in cameras. What an amazing technology! Cameras and video technology. I don't know. That in itself has created just entire cultural upheavals. I mean, what would the internet be without videos or photographs of cats? Truly. I mean, words are great. Prose is wonderful. And also, in our family, speech and our ability to communicate via writing is really important. And we're all very skilled. Pretty much all of us are very skilled in words and verbal messaging. And we're also enthusiastic about videos and photography. And so anyway, I'm really pleased to report that I'm going to be buying some video equipment to upgrade my little studio here. And I'll be soon producing works of art that will be up to par with the standards of the day. So I'm really happy about that. So I guess I'll talk to you a little bit more about that tomorrow. Um, but I'm going to sign off right about now. Anyway, I love you. I think you're wonderful. And I'm so pleased to be able to share this time with you. And, I love you just the way you are. No need to change. Bye bye.